Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back for another EVE Online video. In today's video we are mining a little bit because I want to explore the resource changes and the impact that those have on mining in Highsec. So I'm in my Orca. This is what I personally use to mine solo. It's of course a big ship. It's actually classed as a capital ship, so you've got a lot of HP that helps you against ganks, suicide ganks potentially. I also do have in the high slots like a two shield command bursts actually, that just gives me extra HP and resistance if I would see a gank coming, and then just in case if I ever end up in a fleet I also have a mining Foreman burst, but this is really fit for lots of shields. And then since it's an Orca and the yield comes from the drones, I am using the expensive augmented mining drones, which is a little bit of a risk because people could go after these with like a smart bombing ship. And this is the reason why the disadvantage of seeing these asteroids be so spread out now actually also has an advantage. I put a single drone on every one of these. It's gonna be very difficult to smart bomb 5 augmented mining drones in this setup, and as a result it's very unlikely that this will actually happen. The disadvantage, you can see the distance, 2.7 kilometers, 3 kilometers, 5, almost 6 kilometers for the others, so it takes a little bit more travel time for my drones to restart their next cycles, and that also slows down my mining quite a little bit. Now let's take a look at what's available in this asteroid belt. We've got Veldspar, we've got Scordite, and we have Pyroxeras. These are the 3 types of ores that are still available here in Detail in this belt. There may still be a little bit of a change in other regions. Let me know in the comments if that is the case. But here, that's all that there's available. And so for me, for mining, I have an alt tab where I can just grab the asteroid as we complete them. Now I'll take a quick look at the information. Of course, you know that Veldspar, so I do show info on that one. It's just titanium. Then we have Scordite. If I press show info on that, it's titanium and pyrite. And then Pyroxeras used to be a source of Noxium, actually very important, and one of those regional differences that Noxium was available in decent amounts in a lot of Highsec systems, but in some other regions it just was not available because they didn't have Pyroxeras. But if I press show info on that one, it's just pyrite and Mexalon at this point. So it's really those 3 minerals are minerals that are available here in Highsec in a plentiful amounts. It's actually quite reasonable. I find myself in quite large belts that have decent yields for me personally, or for my taste personally. But of course, there's a lot more to that if you want to put an industry cycle on top of your mining. And this is why I think you'll want to compress a lot of the stuff that you mine at the moment, because that is going to, in all likeliness, increase the trade value more than having the raw minerals. And if you want to do mining and industry, you need a lot of other stuff that you'll want to buy, unless you want to also risk a trip to Lowsec and a trip to Nullsec, or perhaps Triglavian Space or something like that to get those minerals. I think it's going to be hard to get a consistent yield and enough of them, so the market will be your answer. If, like me, you from time to time love to just mine, get some resources, and then do some industry on top of that. I don't do it very often. I tend to stick to very small and easy to make items like munitions, perhaps a couple of frigates, and then some modules here and there. But my focus is on consumables, which is of course these resources, and then munitions. And I still need some Zydrine, some Noxium, some Megasite, some stuff like that. You can also get that from the loot, so you can still refine your loot into these minerals as well. But to get a decent amount of them, I just go to the market, buy a chunk of Zydrine, move that back, and then I'm set for quite a little bit of time. And so in order to do that, you also need ISK, and in order to turn your mining efforts into ISK, I think compression is going to be the answer. We'll take a look at that at the end of the video, as I'll try to do like a comparison, compressing and refining the same number of Veldspar, which is why I've been focusing on these a little bit more. So I think it's definitely interesting. I kind of like the idea of not being completely independent in any type of space, but that you need to have this trade and this movement of products happen in order to get stuff done in EVE Online. So I've been a proponent of that part of the change personally. I like the idea, and well, you can still make ISK mining, of course, because your Veldspar is very sought after in nullsec, perhaps in lowsec as well, if there's players there that are doing manufacturing, maybe even in wormhole space if there's manufacturing there. This is now a valuable and sought after resource. Something that I really notice in these belts, they are much more uniform, but a lot of these asteroids tends to be quite large in size. And as I've said, you've got some of these smaller chunks, which I think is going to be full of like scordites. Yeah, exactly. It's like a little bit darker. Here, you know, you could dive in that and you could try to, you know, get that travel time down. Also riskier for a smart bombing attempt on your expensive drones, but you can basically get your max yield out of an area like this. But Scordite, in my opinion, not as valuable as Veldspar at the moment. So I would rather go like this, have my drones do a little bit more traveling, spread them out a little bit more, but focus on these Veldspar concentrated and dense Veldspar if you can find them, of course, as well. And that means that you need a little bit more positioning. Another option that I could do, for instance, on a very big rock like this one, would be to move all my drones on them. They're still going to hover around this one. Maybe I can show that actually. Let's do that. Let's say that these are all empty, and I would switch these drones to that rock, and then I would start approaching that one to try to cut down on their travel time. And I have to target it, of course. So now you can see here that they're all hovering around this one, but I want to take the big one up here at 9 kilometers. So let's give him that mining order, and in the meantime my Orca is slowly going to move into range. But on one of these big rocks, again, look at how my drones are spreading out here. Again, not gonna be easy if you want to take my 5 augmented mining drones out in a single smart bombing run, because they do keep a pretty decent orbit around this asteroid depending on how large the model is. And then we just approach them so that they have lower travel time to bring back all of these ores, and that'll work out just fine as well for me personally. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult to do this. Also, they travel decently quickly and around, so just to warp in on some of these, it's gonna be tough, right? Try to take all of these out in a single smart bomb run. You're not that likely to succeed, or even to try, because who the hell is going to try something like that? Just to take out these 5 drones, I don't see it happen. It hasn't happened yet at this point. So as we slowly approach this massive chunk of Veldspar, which looks pretty cool as well, by the way. Oh, and I actually kind of wonder what the Pyroxeris looks like. It was very whitish before this, so let's go take a quick look at it. Yeah, there it is. It still has that whitish sheen to it, but this one has gone down basically in value for me personally substantially, because it no longer yields that Noxium. It's only Pyrite and Mexalon, which is still okay. Mexalon, very valuable, even historically speaking. It was able to maintain its value very highly, and Pyrite has also overtaken Veldspar in value. So it does look like it's not a useless one. The yield have just gone down. It's got no more side products. This is what you want for your Mexalon mostly, and then that Pyrite side product also existing there. But for me, I love Tritanium. I've made a video specifically about Tritanium because it is such a unique mineral. It is so bulky, so difficult to transport in very big volumes, that the compression of Veldspar, I think, is like by far the most economically viable thing to do. And here you can also see these big modules mean that my ship is going to bounce on them quite quickly. It's now at 300 meters, but this guy back here is actually at 24 kilometers out from my ship doing his mining. So again, that disadvantage is pretty obvious with these bigger rocks. Quite a bit more travel time for all of my mining drones in order to bring them back. So it really depends. If you have full attention and you do keep a close eye on local, perhaps even on D-scan, you can go on these on these intense, on these more dense parts of the belt, or you know, if you want to take it easy, then just go for one of these really big rocks. And you can see now 2 of them are slowly traveling back towards my Orca to deposit their ore. And once that's done, they just start mining again. It's, for me, it's a big part of EVE. The value of your mining time, your mining effort has gone up substantially thanks to CCP's changes. And I love doing that in the Orca. This is also something that's quite unique. In Highsec, you can shoot for a capital size chip, which is this one, for your mining activities. That gives you that longer term, bigger goal for newer players to go after. When it comes to missions, right, you've got battleships and Tech 2 battleships, but you can't really go the capital option because you can't fly carriers or dreadnoughts in Highsec. For exploration, you're generally stuck to the cruisers, perhaps a Tech 3 cruiser, and then go to nullsec, do wormhole space and things like that. But for the capital ship dream, the Orca fills a very unique niche. In my opinion, that's pretty cool. It gives those Highsec dwellers a capital ship, a large ship to shoot for, and I personally really enjoy flying it and using it. So let's return these drones, and let's say that I've filled up my cargo, or this is the time that I want to spend on mining. I of course return to one of my structures, which is, let's see if I can find the right Hardener here, called reprocessing max yield. There's probably slightly better options for that, but let's go over there as my drones are still returning. Yep, quite a bit more travel time exemplified right here. Let's go towards the star. I think this last one will make it in time. Yep, he's in, and off we go. And then you can see here we now have a few 100,000 units of Veldspar, so I'm going to make 2 stacks of that, of exactly 100,000. So that's 1, and that's 2. This should be both refinable and compressible, and then we'll take a look at the relative value increase of both of those. Granted, it's not going to be precise. At the moment, the market is very much in flux for both minerals and compressed ores, and so this is like the average that the system is going to calculate. So we may be off a little bit, but I think it'll give us a strong indication on what you want to do with the stuff that you mine. So let's go. My Orca is in warp towards our refinery, and we'll take a look at that in just a moment. As I accidentally pressed the boost, which also gives me a timer that luckily is going down. So let's stop boosting here. I was thinking, what the hell is that effect? So that's my mining Foreman boost. I also have a salvager and a mobile tractor unit. It's worth it. From time to time you actually have true Sasha guys, so some faction rats that will jump into your belt. You destroy them and they actually have a chance of dropping some good loot as well. Warp disruptors, things like that can be worth a lot of ISK, and it's worth it to go after them. Oh, and then I completely forgot about that actually, because a couple days ago we actually had a stronghold, or 2 strongholds in the Tal. Let's take a look. There are 2 strongholds here, so this is definitely not something that I would normally do a lot, or if I was aware of this I would not have jumped in my Orca because a patrol of these blood raiders could cause a lot of trouble. So let's consider ourselves lucky to get out with these ores, and then let's take a look at that. I'll put these in the item hanger. And so the first one here, I'll refine this. At the moment it's valued at 4.13 million, so about 2 million a stack. And so I'll reprocess this one, which will bring us up to 2.6 million almost. So 500,000 in gains, 25% of the price. Let's press reprocess and turn that into a nice 300,000 units of titanium. And then on this one, I'll compress it. Let's press compress. There's now 1,000 Veldspar, and that's up to 2.8 million ISK. A gain of 700,000 ISK pretty easily, almost a third of the price of the base value, and this one is at 2.6. So you can clearly see that the market is giving priority, is giving the extra value to the compressed Veldspar itself and not to the titanium, because you can move this. Look at the difference as well. This is now 150. You cubic meters. This is 3009 cubic meters. Quite a bit harder to move this around. So this is really what I would do if you want to mine for yourself and also use the stuff that you mine for your industrial activities. Calculate how much titanium, pyrite, and noxium and mexalon you can use yourself, you need yourself, and compress everything else, because it's a much better value proposition for the people that you're gonna then sell that to. And can I put this in the ore hold? No. Can I put this just... do I have enough room here? Yes, luckily enough. I can do that, so we will be able to move these to the Asteroid. And this is how I mine. Usually I mine without pirate strongholds in system, so do note that I don't generally take that risk. And this is at the moment how I look at it. I compress, oh, and I should really have compressed the rest of it, by the way. Let's quickly do that. If I can, just wanna dock. Maybe we'll end with that then. We were at like 8 million-ish in total value, and then let's see what happens if I put everything else. I'll just go like this. Take the lazy route. Stack all. So it was not that much. Let's press compress on everything. There it goes. And it goes up to 9 million ISK. That is definitely a worthwhile thing to do. And it also drastically reduces the amount of space that it takes, so it's going to be easier for you as well to move these items to the market of your choice. I'm trying to sell some of these in my own Asbel, but honestly most of my trades at the moment are going to Amar. Also something that I'll be looking into in the upcoming weeks if I can. Some people have been saying, well, Jita is losing that status a little bit, being cut off from a lot of Highsec systems at the moment, or being a lot further from a lot of Highsec systems at the moment, and we actually see a massive resurgence, not just in Amar, but also in Minmatar space and in Galente space. So I'll have to take a look at all of the trade hubs that are happening. There's even a system that historically isn't a trade hub, I think that was mentioned in Minmatar space. It's going to be interesting. It's something that was speculated on when Niarja fell, first of all, and then when now Niarja was pulled away from the Highsec systems by the Triglavians in their Zenith event. What's going to happen to the trade hubs in EVE Online? That does seem to be in flux very much. So also something to keep in mind. Always moving your stuff to the same trade hub may not be the best choice when it comes to turning your efforts into ISK. That's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.